mean, what are your thoughts on that?
There's a guy that I was watching a TikTok video from a guy that's called Paul Charming or something like that. And I think he highlighted two very important things about the currency. There's the tangible aspect of it and the intangible aspect of it.
Yeah.
And I think the tangible aspect is obviously how people receive it off the street, how people see, basically. And then the intangible, when how well that money actually works behind the scenes of everything, how it actually would help change the economy or actually help whatever policies that happen in place, how it will actually come help those things help the country what it should be. So it was a very interesting video because what it showed was a lot of times, like especially in Zimbabwe, it's the aspect of the tangibility of it. So it's taking off the zeros, we're taking off this. Oh, the money is now good. Oh, this. But that only lasts for it will last you 12 months, it will last you 16 months. But if that money, the intangible aspect of it is not properly set up, then that money just going to value. You've not done anything to be honest. So it's almost as though you're, like you said, you're watching a turd, and actually not, to make it look like gold, but it's not gold. It's just a turd that's been well polished to make it look like like gold. And that's exactly what's happening with the economy like Zimbabwe. You have so many measures in place. But the truth of the matter is there are poor policies in place. We do not have any backing to our currency. We have a lot of minerals and whatever, but we don't. That those minerals are not actually backing up our currency to say, listen, we have that, and all the other things we talk about that are happening in the country. It's just as a result of that.
Joe, your thoughts?
Right. From my standpoint, I want to come from a positive note. You see, on paper, because this current currency hasn't been used as yet, right? So on paper, it looks really good because we are talking of it being backed by gold. We are talking of it being backed by a basket of currencies, right? If that is sustained and there is good administration of that alone, which I know is questionable, but we're talking of this currency, right? Before we start bashing it, the currency on its own, it's a good initiative. It's an initiative that got a lot of African leaders assassinated, including Gaddafi. He got assassinated because he wanted to have currency that is backed by gold. Because the American dollar is backed by nothing. It's floating. And they can print as much as they can. But because of it being a world reserve currency, it's tied on trust and it's tied on utility. But Zimbabwean dollar is tied on zero trust and zero utility. It cannot be exchanged on an international exchange. But now, if it becomes backed by gold, if it can be audited by third parties, that they have the reserves that they claim to have, and it's tied to the current monetary supply, then whether the administration is ZANU-PF or CCC or whoever they are, if those metrics and control measures are in place, it means it can maintain its value. I'll give you an example of countries that have been wrought by a lot of wars and things like that, like Iraq, like Afghanistan. Their currencies, they were strong because the currency itself is being accounted for its reserves and what it's backed by. And if it's floated against the US dollar, we are not floating the ZiG. We are floating the gold. So even if they try to print it, it has to be printed equivalent to the gold that they have in reserves. If that can be sustained, then ZiG can be successful. But on the flip side, like Tinas was talking about, if they are wanting to use that as a vehicle for corruption, vehicle for control, then it's a flippery flop. It will fail in no time because the moment you try to audit it, there will be an excess of ZiGs to the gold that is in reserve. Then that's when you start to see the inflation going rampant.
But
I rest my case.
haven't we walked down this path before? Haven't we walked down that path before? It looks very familiar.
No, we haven't walked that path because the previous currencies were just checks, bearers, and bonds, which were printed without reserve balances or any mineral or anything to back it.
So what's going to stop them from printing money? You think if they need money, they're going to wait on gold reserves?
Okay, apparently, if I don't know if it's true or what it is, I don't know if it's a meme or a joke which are saying that the reserves which they are saying are there is not accurate.
Yes.
So how do you balance that out?
So now that's the question that comes back to what I was saying, that we need third-party auditors to come in and audit the reserves.
Allow it.
My brother, if they didn't allow, even if they wouldn't even audit an election where someone is just putting a paper in a ballot, how do you think they're going to audit a reserve?
The gold.
Come on, Joe. Let's not leave. That's where you're now talking utopia language here now.
Right. So what I'm saying now is, if they don't do that, that level of trust that we need on this fiat is not going to be able to be gained unless they bring out that transparency. If they don't bring the transparency, then what will happen is same old, same old. But
they have coins that never went to shit. They brought out coins that they said were also gold and this and this. And it was
yes, so I can speak on that. I can speak on that because those coins, they are real gold. They are too expensive, inaccessible to a regular Joe in the street. Because one coin can be equivalent to 3,000, you see? So who can afford that on the street?
So why do it in the first place?
No. They were used for large trades, like as for, let's say, for example, for agri transaction or mining transactions. If they're doing those kind of transactions, they can pay with those gold coins. They can pay with the gold bonds. So in saying that, they float that idea. If you've got the money, you can buy the coin and leave it in the bank. It's valuable. You can take that coin and take it to South Africa. It's exchangeable to the rand. But practically, no one can afford that. When I say no one, I mean every day, you and me, in the streets of Harare. But that one I can say, unless if they dilute it, which is a criminal.
My only question is, maybe my only question for now is, you saw what they telling the gold reserve that was backing the currency. And true alone does not give confidence because everybody knows that Zimbabwe is rich. Everybody knows that's Zimbabwe. There's more gold in the country than the country is keeping up. So I think maybe they need to start talking about
so
that.
with this currency now, You see, with this currency now in place, they are forced to increase their reserves so that they can print more. Because they
Okay.
can't print more. In theory, they can't print more
Yes,
without it.
that's what you should have said at the start. That in theory, what I'm saying is in theory.
What I said was, on paper, this money looks good.
Yeah, I know.